Good morning, my dear students and parents. Children, in our last video, we have studied about the poem The Road Not Taken, composed by Robert Frost. In this poem, we have studied about that we have various choices. We have n number of choices, but the choice which we have choose is very important for our life because its consequences will make us feel that how our life will be in future. Okay, so here I will be explaining you the poem paragraph wise, and I'll give you the poetic devices used in the poem stanza. Okay, and we already studied about the Robert Frost as well as the summary of the poem. So now here coming to the first stanza of the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, I looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So now in these lines the poet is telling that he was standing at a junction of yellow forest where two roads separated in two different directions. Okay, the poet feels sorry that being the lonely traveler he could not walk on both the roads. At the same time, he stood there for a long time, looking at the road, and he looked at the road as far as he could. The road then bent and disappeared from his eyes in bushes and the undergrowth. So some of the word meaning are here for you people. Just go through it. First one is diverged, that means separated. Yellow wood, the forest turned yellow in autumn. Bent, took a turn. Undergrowth, bushes and low trees. So explanation is already written for you people, but I again explain you. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. So here yellow wood and two roads, it means that there are two choices in front of the poet. Okay, and yellow wood is the you can say the problems in the forest, means what are the situations that he is going to face when he are going to choose either of the road. It's not only the problem, it can be a good thing also. So situations you can say. Okay, and he is saying that being alone means he is only a person and choices are too many, means here not too many, here two. So he is only alone one and choice is two roads. So which road he has to choose, it's a problem. So he is saying I'm alone, मैं अकेला हूँ, I will be choosing only one and I have to leave one. So he is deciding to choose one and he is looking on the other road as far as he could see, and he is saying that I can see the road till it is not turned, it is not bent. और जहाँ से वो turn हो रही है, bent हो रही है, he is not able to see after that. Okay, now the poetic devices in this part, it is there. Metaphor. What do you mean by metaphor? I'll let you know. Metaphor is simile. We have two types of figurative speech. One is metaphor and another is simile. Simile means when we have a comparison between two things. For example, he sings like a choir. The word like, हम उसको उसकी तरह बनाते हैं, तरह हो जाता है वो, ठीक है, कंपैरिजन आ गया तरह. और as black as coal, तो as black as या like when we used to compare anything, it becomes a simile. But when we make direct comparison, वो directly वही चीज़ कर देते हैं. For example, he is सचिन तेंदुलकर इन द मैच. तो ही उसका कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं हम सचिन तेंदुलकर से, बट वी आर नॉट सेइंग दैट ही इज़ प्लेइंग लाइक अ सचिन. वी आर जस्ट पुटिंग दैट पर्सन इन दैट नेम, मतलब कि वो वही है. ठीक है, तो कंपैरिजन का वर्ड नहीं आता है इस समय पे, वो डायरेक्ट कंपैरिजन बन जाता है. ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे हम लोग एस का यूज़ करते हैं सिमिले में, और लाइक का यूज़ करते हैं, बट हियर इन मेटाफर वी आर नॉट डूइंग इन दैट वे. ओके, मेटाफर में डायरेक्ट वही बन जाता है. हियर इन योर पोएम metaphor is used with road as for life and yellow wood for hard times for a person. So metaphor is used for road as a life means जो वर्ड आपके लिए रोड यहाँ पे यूज़ किया गया है, द रोड इज रिजम्बलिंग द लाइफ. हियर टू रोड्स डाइवर्स, तो मतलब टू वेज उसके लिए लाइफ के लिए रखे हैं पोएट के लिए. ओके, सो हियर metaphor is used for road is resembling the life and it is not said that कि to road like का use नहीं किया, या as का use is not there, so it's not a simile, it is a metaphor that road is used for the life. Okay, then yellow is yellow wood means the situations that you are going to face on these roads. Anaphora is used. Look here. I'm sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could. Now continuously in these lines we are seeing at the start, in the starting we are finding and. So whenever we have a starting word similar in the continuation line in a stanza, then it becomes an anaphora. Okay, continuously when we are using a similar word in all the lines, okay, then it becomes a anaphora. So here on the line numbers 2, 3 and 4, anaphora is used because and is used. Okay, now next is there parallelism is used in the line 2, 3, 4 because the use of sources of word, phrases or sentence that have similar grammatical form. So here grammatical form is there in these three lines. I'm sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood. So he is saying that ki both the things similar meaning is coming in these lines. Like he is alone, he could not travel. He is saying that being one traveler, he stood there, looked down. So all the formation of these sentences are similar. So when the formation of any lines are similar, then it is a parallelism. How it is similar? First is and sorry I could not travel. So again he is thinking of the traveler only, ki how he is going to travel the road. Then being one traveler, again he is saying that I'm alone only and I stood there and he is planning to travel on that road. Similarly in the third line also, and look down as far as I could. So again the same thing, he is looking at that road only, at the choices that he is going to make. Okay, so all these three lines and its formation resemble the same manner, same pattern. Okay, so it is also there an anaphora as well as the parallelism. Okay, now see, as far as I told you कि as far as का use हो and like का use हो, then it becomes a simile. So here as far as is there, we are using, then it's a simile. So simile is used in as far as in line number 4. Okay, now coming to the stanza number 2. What is there in the stanza number 2? Then took the other just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. So in these lines the poet took the other road which was as beautiful as the first one. So poet is saying that both the roads are beautiful and he has chosen the other road. The second road presented a better claim because it was grassy and had not worn out due to walking of the travelers. So here poet is saying that he has chosen the second road because it is grassy and less people have traveled in on that road. So he is telling that where less people have gone, okay, because that road is chosen by less people, so something will be there special in that road. Okay, why people have not? Because there, if he is going to choose that road, he is going to make any he will make a difference, because भीड़ में चलना तो सभी चल जाते हैं. इफ़ एनी डिफ़िकल्टीज देयर, उस रोड को लेस लोग चुनते हैं. जिस चॉइस में कठिनाइयाँ होती हैं वहाँ पे कम लोग चुनते हैं. सो लेट्स ट्राई, वी शुड मेक अ डिफरेंस इन द क्राउड से अलग होके करना. सो ही हैज़ चोजन द सेकेंड रोड बिकॉज दैट रोड इज़ ग्रासी एंड दैट रोड इज़ लेस chosen by the people. So he has selected the other road. As far as the question of their being worn due to walking of the traveler, both of them had worn in the same way. So he is saying काफ़ी हद तक चलने के बाद वो रोड दोनों एक ही जैसी है, but there is some difference. But the second road is less traveled by the people, so he is going to choose the second road. So now some difficult words for you people. The other means the second road option is telling just that means exactly the same. इसी तरीके से है दोनों रोड दिख तो एक ही जैसी रही हैं. Fair is beautiful, about the same equally, wanted were has not been used and worn so frequently. Okay, the passing of traveler, worn them really about the same. That means both of them were used equally or the same. So now the poetic devices. So what is the alliteration is used. So what do you mean alliteration? When we repeat similar alphabet, okay, in a continuation or in the nearby, then it becomes the alliteration. For example, then took the. So now continuation of t. See, then ka t, took ka t, and the ka t. So continuation is there, t and t. So it is the alliteration. See here in the first line, then took the. So continuation is there. The next thing, wanted were, w ka repetition is there. So it's again a alliteration. Now personification. So what do you mean by personification? The word itself implies that person. So whenever any living non-living thing or any animal is used and resemble in the form of person, when any non-living thing or any animal resemble the quality of a person, then it becomes personification. Okay, so here in the line number 3, see here it is said that because it was grassy and wanted wear. So here this it is there. Okay, so this implies is the because it was grassy and wanted wear, as if the road is human and that it wants to wear and tear. So here wear and tear means tired. Who used to get tired? Road will not get used to get tired, no, only human being used to get tired. Okay, so here it is resembling to the human quality of wear and tired. थके हुए के लिए जो यूज़ हो रहा है, that is only used for the human beings. Okay, so here in this line personification is used. What is personification? Personification means when any non-living thing or animal use the quality of a person, then that particular situation or that particular thing becomes the personification. Okay, because word itself personification, it's saying anything related to the person. Okay, so this is there in this lines. Now coming to the third stanza of the poem. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So now in these lines, the poet is saying that both the roads lay in front of the poet almost in the same condition. So he is saying that same condition for him is that he did not know anything about both the road. For him, both the roads are similar. Means he cannot say what are the terms, what are the situation will be there, because he had not seen any of the road. So for him, both the options are similar. They were covered with fallen leaves. Both the roads were having the similar leaves, means all the terms and conditions, because he have not seen the road, so both the terms and conditions, both the hard work or the hard situation or the lovely situation for him will be the same on both the road. And the leaves had not been blackened by the steps of the walker. So blackened means whatever the leaves, if the people is going to walk on that leaves, then it will be crushed and it will be turned back. Means when any person have traveled and have seen the situation, then only we can say that whether that situation is hard or it is okay. So जब तक हम उसमें चलेंगे नहीं, तब तक वहाँ की चीज़ें पता नहीं चलेंगी, and the situation will not be turned into black. Okay, so it is said that the leaves still lay there uncrushed by the steps. The poet left the first road thinking that he would see it on some other day. So one he have chosen and the other he left out, and he is thinking that he will be coming back and he will also see the situation on the other road. When he was doing so, he knew that how one way leads to another. He would go so far from the first road that he doubted if he would ever come back to walk on it. While he is choosing the road, he has selected the one, and he is thinking that for the other road he is going to come back, but still he is in a doubt whether he will be able to come back or not. Okay, so now the difficult words for you people. Both, that is resembling the both the roads. Equally lay means lying in the same manner, same for him, for both the roads are having similar situation. Jordan walked or crushed. First, the first road for another day to be used on the other day. Now here we are not finding anything special. Okay, so only there will be a rhyming schemes that I'll give you later on, what the rhyming schemes are there. Fine. So now coming to the fourth stanza of a poem. Somewhere ages and ages hence I shall be telling this with a sigh. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So in the given lines, the poet is saying that he does not seem to be happy with his choice. Just now, it is very difficult to pass the judgment on the spur of the moment. After many years, perhaps he will be telling with a sigh that his choice was not very rewarding. There were two roads that separated into two different directions, and he chose the road which had been less travelled by. The choice was his own, and this choice has made all the difference in his life. So he is saying that already he had the choice and he has selected the thing, and if that selected choice gives the happiness, then it is good, and if that selected road is not giving happiness, then the consequences he only has to bear, because he has selected the option. Nobody else has said to him, because that the choice, that the selection is his, and he will be the person who is going to bear the consequences of that selection. Okay, so this is what told in this stanza. Says one more thing is told, that if your selection is good and you are somewhere, that it is a difference कि आपने भीड़ में से सभी select किया, it is making a difference in you. And if it's a wrong selection, then consequences will be borne by you people, okay. If your selection is good, it is good and you are having a successful life, and if somewhere your selection goes wrong, then you have to bear the consequences. Why? Because it is your own selection. Now coming to word meaning for this stanza. Sigh means the deep breath of sorrow, ages and ages, with the many years after. Hence means from now. The poetic devices used in the stanza is this metaphor. So I already explained about the metaphor, when the things have the direct comparison. The direct comparison hota without using the word like or as. So here in the line 3, see what is in the line number 3? Two roads diverged. So this two roads diverged means it is showing the two situation of the life or choice. Alliteration is used, ages and ages. A is given there. Now we will checking about the rhyming scheme of the poem. Check. Now coming to the first, and I'll let you know, and rest you will compare it. So now the first is there. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood. I looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So now children, check out the last word pronunciation. So last word would, both. It is different. Okay, pronunciation would. So you will mark it as A. Then both B, because pronunciation is different. Then the last word stood. So would and stood, they are sounding the same way. So A we have marked for would. So again we will mark A for stood. Then could also sounding the same way, no? Would, could, stood, da is coming, no? So when the sounding of the last word matches, that time we will put as the same alphabet for them, same rhyming words for them. Okay. And undergrowth, so both and undergrowth, both are sounding same. Growth, tha. So B. So your rhyming scheme for the stanza 1 is A B A B. So A B A B is the rhyming scheme for the stanza number 1, and the rhyming words will be would, stood, good, both, undergrowth. Got the point? Similarly, we will be having the rhyming scheme for the next stanza also. Just check it out. Fair, A, claim. Fair, claim. Different sound. So A B. Where. Fair, where. R is sounding at the end. So B. There, matching with the same. Fair, there, where, same sound. So again B. Claim, same. Ma at the end. So B the same. So same rhyme scheme. So A B A and B. So this is also having the similar rhyme scheme. So what is the rhyme scheme given? A B A and B. So this is the way we are going to detect the rhyming scheme. So next also you will be doing by yourself. That is a task. If you are not able to understand, please call me up and ask me the things, and please write the work and show me your work. Okay, do your work. Any doubt, please call me and show me your things, so that I can realize that you people are doing your work. Okay, so next comparison. In the next stanza, you are going to find out the rhyme scheme by yourself and the rhyme words for you people. Okay, now we will have completed the explanation of the poem, and we will be doing the question answers of the poem. So the first question is, where does the traveler find himself? What problem does he face? First question. So now in this question it is asked that where was the traveler? Okay, where he was standing. So the answer is, the traveler finds himself at a point where two roads diverge. So he was standing at a point where he was having two roads. What is his problem? His problem is to decide on which road he should walk. So which road to be selected by him. Second question. Here some phrases are given. You have to tell the answers for these phrases. So discuss what these phrases mean to you. A yellow wood. So what is this yellow wood? It means a forest in an autumn season. Okay. Second one. It was grassy and wanted wear. It means the road was grassy because it was less traveled road. It wanted people to move on it. Okay. Wanted wear means that road wants that people should select it. Passing there. It implies walking on the road. Leaves, no steps had trodden black. It means that leaves had not been crushed under the feet of travelers. How way leads on to way. It means how one road leads to another. Question number 3. Is there any difference between the two roads as the poet described them? So in stanza 2 and 3. So here a poet is asking, is there any difference between the stanza number 2 and 3? So our next question in the last two lines of the poem. So he is asking the difference between these two lines and the stanza. So A, there is no difference between the two roads in the stanza 2 and 3 because for the poet both the roads are similar. So there is no difference. The road that is discussed in the stanza number 2 and the road discussed in the stanza number 3, both the roads are similar. Next question in this B part, in the last two lines of the poem. So in the last two lines of the poem, the poet tells that the road he opted for is less traveled. So in that last paragraph, in the last line, he is telling that the road which he has selected, that road is less traveled, means less selected by the people. Now coming to the question number 4. What do you think the last two lines of the poem means? So now here we will be getting the explanation of the last two line. What is the last two line? I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all difference. So now in this two line he will be telling how the life changed by taking or by selecting his option. So these two lines explanation is there in the question number 4. So what is the explanation? See, the last two lines have the quintessence of the poem. The poet expresses his opinion that it becomes difficult for a normal human being to change his or her decision. The poet intends to walk on the first road, but he couldn't do so because life does not offer multiple chances to choose. So we will get only one chance to choose. एक ही बार हमें चांस मिलता है, बार बार नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि आप जब इस बार निकल जाते हैं तो वो निकल जाते हैं. ओके. The decision taken may mar one's future or leads one to success. It makes all the difference. He now repents for not getting a chance to travel on the first road. So he is saying that उसको पहली रोड पे चलने का मौका नहीं मिल पाया. सो ही इज़ रिपेंटिंग, ही इज़ हैविंग ए ग्रीवियंसेस उसके अंदर पे आ गया है और वो बोल रहा है. ओके. सो एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ लास्ट टू लाइन इज दैट. नाउ सम ऑफ द एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चन फॉर यू पी स्टूडेंट्स. फर्स्ट वन, what was the poet's opinion about both the roads? The poet opined that both the roads were same. They were equally traveled and there was no difference between them. So he got confused. It was difficult to decide which road would be more convenient and comfortable. He wanted to choose the one that would take him to his intended destination. Okay? Second question for you. Why did the poet choose the road, that road? That means second road. The poet chose that road because it was less traveled. He wanted to do those activities which had not been done by anyone earlier. The poet did not seem to be interested in choosing a much trodden path of life. Avoiding the popular rat race, he opted for the option that broke fresh ground. ओके कहने का मतलब यहाँ ये है कि पोएट ने वो रोड चूज़ की जो कम लोगों ने चूज़ की. ही डिड नॉट वांट टू गो इन अ क्राउड, ही वांट टू मेक अ डिफरेंस. ओके, दैट्स व्हाई ही हैज सेलेक्टेड द लेस ट्रैवल्ड पाथ. जो पाथ कम लोगों ने चुना मैं वही पाथ चुनूंगा सो दैट आई विल मेक अ डिफरेंस अमंग द क्राउड. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. Describe the significance of good decision. In what manner do they support life? It is a value-added question for you people. Okay. The web of life is quite complex. Web मतलब जिंदगी का जो जाल होता है बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है, कई चीज़ें होती हैं. That is there. Life provides many options. We can't choose all these options or alternatives. The choice has to be made. The choice we make will make all the difference in the life. One road leads to another, and it becomes difficult to come back to the original position. Only by walking the right path of the life we can expect the desired results. Good decisions have a great deal of significance. They bring success, wealth, and happiness in our life. A successful person has several friends and they support him or her in every possible manner. Besides, the common people take a very important lesson with regard to how decisions should be taken in life. Therefore, good decisions work as the source of inspiration for those who try to achieve success in life. Okay, so some extra questions and question answers. So here in this video, my dear children, we have discussed the poem in detail. I have given you the explanation along with the poetic devices plus difficult words that are used in the stanza. Okay, so you are going to write all these things in your notebook. If you have your own explanation, you can write, but please show your things to me. Send whatever you are going to write in your notebook and send to me. I'll check it out. Please go through the question, explanation of the stanza. If any doubt, please feel free to call me up and clear your doubts. Okay? And write down all these things, extra questions, book questions, explanation, poetic devices. Okay? Because without the poetic device, you will not be able to beautify the poem or beautify the poet's feeling. Okay, my dear children? So do your work, show me your work. Take care, bye bye, be safe, and thank you.